It amazes me that Volunteer New York has been around for 75 years.
Volunteer New York has been around for the last 75 years because at our core, this concept of community and connections and volunteerism is universal.
You don't find many organizations that have been around for 75 years.
Volunteer New York started because 75 years ago, a small group of women got together at the YMCA in White Plains in an office with a borrowed phone. And they said, okay, we're here. We're going to start connecting people with the real needs in the community.
They took action and built the foundation for the organization that we're celebrating today.
And that was it. That was the spark. But that spark lit a fire, and 75 years later, Volunteer New York is still going strong in so many ways.
75 years in and of itself is an accomplishment just for this organization to not only have survived, but have thrived.
Over the 75 years, we may have been known to you in many different ways. The Volunteer Service Bureau, Volunteer Center of United Way. When we decided to rebrand, it was to get more people to join us. Our brand is our name, and our name is a call to action. Volunteer New York, with an exclamation point.
I am proud of how the organization has grown. I watched us rebrand to Volunteer New York and really just changed our trajectory.
It was a chance for us to separate and become the organization that we are now.
One of the things that I've always loved about Volunteer New York is how it stands up for the entire community. It shows up for every issue, for every cause.
Whether it's food insecurity, literacy.
Volunteer New York doesn't decide what the issues are. It looks at what the community is asking for, what the hundreds of nonprofits that are active in our community need.
And throughout our history, we've also shown up in times of disaster.
Whether that be a Katrina or a pandemic, Volunteer New York gives people who want to help that opportunity.
At its core, Volunteer New York is a connector organization.
And it's so easy when you connect with Volunteer New York.
One of the most significant benefits of the work of Volunteer New York is that it gives visibility to causes and needs and communities.
We realized pretty early on, we are unique in our community. We are the only organization in our community that does what we do.
The reason why Volunteer New York's legacy is so important is because of the work they do and the quiet work that they do.
We have worked really hard to listen to the community, our partners and community members, to really understand the needs.
The legacy of Volunteer New York is its impact. We've had thousands of volunteers come through Volunteer New York.
Last year, we mobilized 35,000 volunteers with 300 nonprofit partners to provide 457,000 volunteer hours, which represents the economic equivalence of $16.9 million. And that is our legacy. Our legacy is the thousands of volunteers, the thousands of nonprofits, and the hundreds of thousands of volunteer hours, and the millions and millions of dollars that we have invested in our region in the lower Hudson Valley over the past 75 years.
I believe Volunteer New York is a need to have because it's offering a service that agencies like mine could not provide on their own. We do have a volunteer recruitment manager, but she's one person. One person can't be in that many places at once, but Volunteer New York can.
For me personally, the legacy of Volunteer New York is seeing my grandchildren volunteer and understand the role that Volunteer New York plays in their lives. 75 years spans a lot of generations.
Volunteer New York is an invaluable resource without which we probably couldn't do our programs. I almost liken it to like an engine. The engine are our volunteers, and the fuel by which our volunteers can operate is Volunteer New York.
Imagining our community without Volunteer New York is like imagining what a house would be like without its foundation. We're part of the structure that really keeps people together, and that's what volunteering does. It brings people together. And it brings people together sometimes who would never have found each other, never have worked together for a common good to solve a problem.
I think why Volunteer New York is so important now is because nonprofits are in fact losing money and people are busier than ever.
It feels like it is getting harder and harder to get people involved in their community.
Nonprofit organizations need people power now more than ever.
Communities are fragile.
If we don't have people stepping into those roles, then those institutions will go away.
It is important to reduce barriers to volunteerism.
And that's why we need everyone's help to continue to do the great work that we currently do.
This 75th anniversary celebration is as much about looking backwards as it is looking forwards. It's as much about what is the impact that Volunteer New York is going to have in its next 75 years.
Congratulations on 75.
Congratulations.
I am truly excited to see what the next 75 years look like.
Happy birthday, Volunteer New York. You've never looked better.
If you have the opportunity to get involved with Volunteer New York, you should volunteer. Get involved one way or the other.